What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition by the Card Nerd. Today I'm going to open up something that I thought I would never ever get my hands on. It is a Fleer 2001 Raw is War hobby box. It's still sealed, it's unopened. I'm a huge wrestling fan, so this is a very nice addition to add to my collection. The Attitude Era was a hell of a good time to be a wrestling fan. What I'm looking for is hopefully some cards of The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Scotty 2 Hotty, Christian, Edge, Test. I mean, the list can go on and on. So let's see what we have here. We have 24 packs of 8 World Wrestling Federation trading cards, or, WWE. Hobby box exclusive ringside seat, War Booty event used memorabilia, and autograph cards. All right, so let's see what we got. Wow. Check out the foil on that. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's start with the first pack. Let's see what we got. Steve Blackman. Oh wow, these cards are pretty stuck together. Right to Censor. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Man. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. Their moments in the ring were always classic. Good old JR. Jim Ross. And Raw is Jericho. Sweet. Raven. And Molly Holly. Oh, this pack feels a little bit thicker. Wonder if there's any memorabilia in this one. Another Chris Jericho versus The Rock. The Rock and Undertaker versus Edge and Christian. Perry Saturn. And I can't tell. I think that's maybe Hardcore Holly on the floor there. Terry Runnels. Raw is Jericho. Well, that's the Undertaker. Pretty cool. Edge and Christian. Tables, ladders, and chairs. And another Molly Holly. Albert. Cool. Matt Bloom. I've only opened up 2 packs and I already like what I see. The APA. Bradshaw and Farouk. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. Pat Patterson. China. Awesome. Femme Fatale. Lita. Here we got a checklist. Oh, is this a rock card? It's a rock card. Famous nicknames. The Rock. The Brahma Bull. As a kid, I used to say Drama Bull. It's really off. Albert. And Ivory. Bubba Ray Dudley, awesome. Chris Benoit, wow. I don't know if many of you saw Dark Side of the Ring season 2, but definitely check that out if you're a wrestling fan. Wow. We got another one of the Dudley Boys. Oh, Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. Another Chris Jericho. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Chris Benoit. Another Femme Fatale, Tori. Another checklist. Another Ivory. And this Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Rikishi and Kurt Angle. Here's another Chris Benoit. Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. The Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian. Man, their return at WrestleMania was insane. I was there in Orlando when it happened. That was just really cool moment. I marked out. The Rock, that's a nice card. Christian. Another Raw is Jericho. Man, WWF.com. The amount of times I spent on that website, dreaming of buying belts and merchandise. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Rikishi and Kurt Angle. And Undertaker versus The Rock, the American Badass. We got another duplicate of Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian. They're pretty stuck together, but at least there's no gum. Rikishi, awesome. William Regal, and that's a hardcore Holly. Another card of The Rock, which looks like Kurt Angle maybe. The Boss Man, Vince McMahon. We got Raw is Jericho, Chris Jericho, and The Rock. Another Undertaker versus The Rock, and William Regal. Edge and Christian. I'm not sure if that was a duplicate already. Trish Stratus. I met Trish Stratus a couple years ago too. Very nice woman. Edge and Jeff Hardy. Triple H versus The Rock. We got another Femme Fatale. Terry. Wasn't a big fan of Terry. We got Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. Here we got another William Regal. and Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Another APA. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, there we go. Take that one off. Another Pat Patterson. Another Chris Jericho. Perry Saturn with Terry. Femme Fatale. Trish Stratus, alright. Another Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. And The Big Show. Still no autos, no relics, but still got plenty of packs to open. Alright, we have Jeff Hardy, and looks like the Godfather's on the receiving end of that one. Alright, Scotty 2 Hottie. I've met Scotty 2 Hottie a few times. Very, very nice man. Really cool card. Always been a fan of Scotty 2 Hottie, and Too Cool. Really cool card. Undertaker versus Kane. The Rock versus Chris Benoit. Steven Richards. Raw is Jericho. The Divas, China, Lita, and that's Brock Lesnar's wife, I think. Never mind, that is Deborah, Stone Cold's wife. And we have another Big Show. And Undertaker, American Badass. Dean Malenko. Test, cool. Was a big fan of Test. Very unfortunate situation with his life. The one Billy Gunn with China. Undertaker. K-Quick. Oh, what? That's R-Truth. Man, I don't remember him back then. That's crazy. Wow. Another Raw is Jericho with Kane on the receiving end. Undertaker. And Devon Dudley. Alright, so I got both now. Bubba Ray and Devon. Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian. We have another Rikishi. Perry Saturn. Shane McMahon. Triple H versus The Rock. Femme Fatale, Lita. Another Devon Dudley. And Stone Cold Steve Austin. Triple H. Show Enders. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Edge and Christian and Kurt Angle. Edge and Christian. The Godfather. That looks like Grandmaster Sexy. Femme Fatale Lita. Oh, got another one stuck here. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Triple H. That's a nice card. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And The Rock versus The Undertaker. Trish Stratus. Edge. The One Billy Gunn versus Val Venus. Hello, ladies. Taz. Lita. Raw is Jericho, the Hardy Boys. Have another Val Venus. And a Vince McMahon. Triple H versus Kurt Angle, Show Enders. Lita versus Trish Stratus. That's Funaki, right? Their Rise War, Chris Jericho. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Chris Benoit, Show Enders. Molly Holly, Femme Fatale. Checklist. And another Vince McMahon. And Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. Mick Foley. Steve Blackman. Right to Censor. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus William Regal. The Rock and Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Oh no, The Rock versus Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Femme Fatale, Molly Holly. Another checklist. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. And Triple H. Undertaker versus Kane. Chris Jericho versus The Rock. The Rock and Undertaker versus Edge and Christian. The Rock. Raw is Jericho. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, Undertaker. Here we have another Triple H. And Deborah. Kurt Angle, that's a new card. Bradshaw. Gerald Briscoe. Shane McMahon versus The Rock, show enders. Kane. Raw is Jericho. Kurt Angle. You have another Deborah. And Jacqueline. Still no Eddie Guerrero. I think that's the only card that I mentioned earlier that I'm hoping I get. Still got a few more packs left. Here's a Hardcore Holly. Bull Buchanan. Another one of the Big Show. Chris Jericho. Vince McMahon. Femme Fatale Trish Stratus. Another Jacqueline. And the one Billy Gunn. Trish Stratus. Edge. The one Billy Gunn versus Val Venus. Undertaker. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Chris Benoit, show enders. Another one of Undertaker. He doesn't have that tattoo anymore. Or at least it's covered up. Too cool. That's awesome. That's a cool card. And Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle, show enders. Let's see how many packs I got left. 1, 5 packs. Let's see. Scotty 2 Hottie. Undertaker vs. Kane. Chris Jericho versus The Rock. Grandmaster Sexy. Lita versus Stephanie McMahon, show enders. Femme Fatale, Tori. The one Billy Gunn. And Too Cool. Billy Gunn versus Val Venus. Mick Foley. Steve Blackman. Triple H. Raw is Jericho, the Dudley Boys. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, Kurt Angle. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle, Show Enders. And Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit, Show Enders. Mick Foley. Steve Blackman. Right to Censor. The Godfather. Vince McMahon. Femme Fatale, Tori. Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. And Hardcore, Molly, and Crash Holly. Alright, so I got 2 packs left. Let's see if we're getting Eddie Guerrero or any relics or autographs. Alright, so here are the last 2 packs. Let's see if I got a relic or autograph. Right to Censor, Hardy Boys. Triple H versus Kurt Angle, Show Enders. Lita versus Trish Stratus. Yep, there's my Eddie Guerrero card I was hoping to get. Crash Holly. Femme Fatale Lita. Hardcore Molly, and Crash Holly. And Taka. Alright, so here's the last pack. Honestly, doesn't feel any different than the other ones. So hoping for a relic or autograph. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. The Dudley Boys. Kurt Angle. Taz. Perry Saturn with Terry. Raw is Jericho. Taka. And the last card, Raven. Alright, well there you have it. All the cards have been opened. No used memorabilia, no autograph, but I definitely got some cards that I was hoping to get, like Eddie Guerrero, Carter Tuhati, Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, things like that. All in all, still very fun to open. You know, a little disappointed I didn't get any memorabilia cards or anything like that. But overall, real cool cards. Glad that I was able to pick these up. As always, thanks for watching, and more videos coming soon.